So welcome everybody. My name is Bill Cope. I've been involved with Common Ground since it began, and this conference also since it began. I'm sorry for the people who are purely online. That was a great discussion, obviously, but the camera was tracking. It's got an automatic tracking thing where it follows the voice, and it just was gone. It went crazy. It didn't work. So, but I'm sure I was there listening to it as well. It was a great discussion. So even though you weren't able to always see the people who were speaking, you could hear the words pretty clearly. So this is a little a virtual think and drink session. They're lucky enough, they're there at the venue to be able to have the real think and drink, the real reception. But here we are just in our virtual spaces. So, welcome to the conference. And I just want to say a couple of things about the nature of the conference. All the sessions, all the plenary sessions are recorded. They're going to be there they're either live, but they're recorded as well. And also there are many asynchronous sessions. So just to just give you a sense of the scale of the conference, about 70 something people who are there in Denmark. We've encouraged them as many as possible to upload their presentations, so you're able to participate in those as well. And there are 30 something people who are involved in the online part of this conference. So welcome to the online folks, and great to see you here. So one thing we do suggest, though, to make this a really worthwhile conference with the parallel sessions, we request that you always leave a comment in the chat area. It's a great opportunity for dialogue, and this would be there's Chris at the airport trying to get to Denmark. Hopefully you make it before the conference ends, Chris. One thing we do in this session is just go around the room and get people to say hi to each other, as you would if you're at the in-person reception. So Kayla works with us at Common Ground, so you probably interact with her a bit, or you may have interacted with her a bit just in the lead up to the conference. There's a lot of detailed organizational work involved in making a conference like this work. And I can see we've got several other people here in this informal online session. And what I'm going to get you to do is I'll just go around and get you to introduce yourselves, say a little bit about what your interests are. And if you've got a session in the conference, Kayla is going to put a link into the chat box there. So it's a session that you can follow up the actual session as well. So I'm just going to go around the way I have the Zoom tiles laid out. And the next person I have is Gillian. Hey, Gillian, how are you?
Hi, I'm good. I'm just a support assistant at Common Ground, just here to monitor stuff and watch.
Oh, okay.
But I think
this is the first time I've met you, so
I'm sorry.
You're
good. I don't know if I was supposed to record, but I think if you and Kayla are recording, it's fine. But if you want me to record, I can. But just let me know. But I'm just here to pretty much do that and watch.
I'm recording now. Now. Yes.
I'm also recording.
Okay, that's good. Okay, we're good then.
Oh, well, we've got recordings later on then. That's good. Chris, you're stuck at CGScholar. Yes, I can't hear you. You might have your audio working. Oh, if you're in an airport, that's fair enough. No, I still can't hear you for some reason.
Can you hear me now? Is that any better?
That's great. Perfect.
Oh, yeah, no. On my way to Denmark, just missed connection due to delays. So expecting to be rolling into my hotel at 2 a.m.
Oh, dear.
So I'll get a few hours sleep before the actual conference.
Oh, yeah. Great. Well, I'm glad you get it. And yours, you're presenting. What's your session about?
I am presenting. So I'm going to be talking about difficult to put into a few words, but I guess the cultural adaptation and assimilation of rugby in Japan.
Oh wow, that's an exotic topic. I mean, a strange combination, or one that I've never noticed.
Yeah, no, it's something I hadn't really thought about until I was out in Japan for the Rugby World Cup a couple of years ago. So it's just a few ideas I've been toying with.
Great. Oh, that's a very interesting topic. And we have another Chris there, Chris Atwater. Hi, Chris. How are you? Where are you? And what's your work about, and what brings you to the conference?
Hey, greetings from beautiful Montgomery, Alabama in the United States. I'm a professor at Troy University. Research a number of different things. The piece that we have in for this session, and I really wish we could be there to present it, but is on international female athletes' perceptions of their lived experience in the United States. And so it's a number of interviews we've done with international female athletes that focus on their adjustment from an academic, social, personal standpoint, whether they feel institutional support. And so just kind of, their description of what it's like to come to a foreign country and participate in athletics at the highest level. A lot of the work I'm currently working on with a colleague is on racial tasking in recruiting for American football. Using a lot of our, who do we use to recruit which players, right? And it's mostly based on race. So if you look at we have star ratings here. So like 3-star, 4-star, 5-star players. And if you were to look at something like a 4-star player, you would understand that 96% of a Black recruiting coach's time is spent recruiting Black players, where only 4% is spent recruiting white players. And then that number comes down obviously significantly for white recruiting coaches, with the concept being that Black recruiting coaches are able to get into areas and connect with potential players a lot more easily. And so we're just looking at the divide of that. And then despite the fact that they're considered great recruiters, they very rarely get the opportunity to get the head job, right? So the best football conference in America is the SEC, the Southeastern Conference, and they have 0 Black head coaches. So we're just kind of looking at the concept that you just have racial tasking within college football recruiting. That's kind of our most recent work.
Oh, interesting. And it's sort of given the racial divide in the United States. I work in the United States. I'm not there at the moment. I work in Illinois, but I'm in Europe at the moment. I'm not in Denmark, but I'm somewhere else in Europe. I'm in Greece actually, because we've had a conference there in the last week. So, yes.
Don't worry, you're not excluded. We have the whole Power 5 in there. So.
Great. Yeah.
So
No.
There too.
Given the kinds of fracturing of society in the United States at the moment, these are incredibly important questions, to be quite frank. So, it's great, wonderful. And the other person I can see here is Leon Davis. Are you able to introduce yourself briefly, Leon?
Can you hear me, Will? Sorry, I'm just making sure. Yeah, hi. How are you? Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you well.
Okay. Just to let you know that I'm actually sat here with Chris. So Chris is actually there. So we're both in Schiphol Airport, just waiting to get to. We're both bless you. Sorry. Yeah, we're both just waiting really in the airport to fly over to Denmark. So we'll be there tomorrow. But nice to meet everyone in Chile. My research is on consumer culture, and looking at how sports management organisations, how they use people or fans or genders in an actual live event space, to look at how they use them to actually sell the event as a product. So I've done this with 2 sports, but the main sport I've done this with at the moment is professional darts, which is massive in the United Kingdom. But I also came to America. Actually, I also came to a couple of the US Masters events in New York and in Vegas, to actually collect some data as well. That was part of my PhD about 3 or 4 years ago.
Right. How interesting is that? I've seen darts on television. So it's incredibly interesting. Yeah. Well, what a great just amongst this group here, what a great set of presentations. Again, I don't know whether Leon, I can't see whether you have and Leon and Chris Hayes have digital versions, but if you haven't made digital versions, do make it, because it means that the people who are not at the conference in person, but also it means there's a record of it, to be quite frank. So, you know, we've got a record of the conference and it's possible to go back and all that sort of stuff. So that's great. But also when you go to the page, do use the website as much as possible. It's also a great place to comment in a in-person session that you know, you're constrained by time, whereas with these online discussions that go with the sessions, it's very, 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 very open. The other thing too that I wanted to mention too is that this is part of a research network, a knowledge community where we value peer-reviewed work. So what people then do, I don't know whether you folks have been to these conferences before, but if you write your paper up formally, we have now a very, very good journal and a book series that we produce. So that'll be peer reviewed, and there's a kind of set of mutual responsibilities. The people who come into the conference review each other's work. And the book series, by the way, is just simply outstanding. And so if you've got ideas for a book that you'd like to propose, and we're always interested to hear about that. But as part of your Research Network membership, everyone has access to electronic versions of all the journal articles and all the books. So, and actually I might, Kayla or Gillian, if you just put a link into the Sport and Society bookstore, you'll be able to see the material there. So over the years, since this conference began, we built up a really very, very interesting body of knowledge in this area as well. The other thing I always ask people to do is to use this resource. Yeah. So in other words, there we are. Is it there yet? The link? No. Kayla's still looking for it. Now, to use this resource and to cite other people. I mean, in academia, a mark of recognition is somebody who's found an idea that you've got valuable and they cite it. So for goodness sake, because you have free access to this resource, all the books, as well as all the journal articles, there we go. Kayla's put the link in there. And if you take that link there, which is in the chat, you can see that we've actually published 482 items, including 26 books and 400 and something journal articles over the years. So there's an amazing resource there. And if you use the advanced search function, you get quite granular ways to get down into particular thematic areas. I'm not sure how many articles there were about darts, and I'm not sure how many articles there were already about Japanese rugby. But nevertheless, there's a lot of stuff there. So now, does anybody have any questions about the conference or the research network or the publication process, or does anybody have any questions? No. Well, listen, for those of you who are nearly in Denmark, I hope you have a safe flight. And I hope 2 o'clock in the morning sounds a bit dire, but I hope you do get there by 2 o'clock in the morning and you don't get delayed any further. For Chris in Montgomery, must be warm there, yes, now, yeah. Great that you're part of it. And I hope all the online material is really valuable to you. Do go in, and as I say, the rule for everybody is go online and make comments. Even if you're in the session, in the conference, go and make comments there, because that can produce a more sustained asynchronous conversation. So look, I'm aware we're way over time now because the previous session went over time. So, but great to see you all, and thanks for being part of the research network. Bye, everyone. See you then, and thanks, Gillian.
Cheers. Thank you.
Bye.